Hey guys, today we journey through Africa. But you probably won't survive this, just kidding, sort of. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And I want you to leave a comment below with your location and what time it is there, because I think it's important to remember that no matter where we are, we're all in this together sharing this experience right now. Now dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Once upon a time, high up in the mountains of what we today call Tanzania, there lived an African queen whose insatiable curiosity burned brighter than the midday sun. Unlike many of her contemporaries who hoarded gold and jewels, this queen's heart ached for something more, something she'd never seen. Now, throughout her vast empire, messengers carried tales of strange lands beyond the horizon where people spoke in different tongues and lived by different customs. These stories were like honey to the queen, sweet and intoxicating. She yearned to experience these distant worlds firsthand. But then one day a visitor arrived at the kingdom bearing gifts and stories of a wondrous place called Europe, a land brimming with knowledge and wisdom but lacking in gold. Intrigued, the queen decided to trade some of her precious metals for books, hoping to gain the wisdom that had been missing from her life. Now, this trade might seem a bit odd, but remember, gold was just a means to acquire knowledge for this queen, not an end in itself. And so, with a few sacks of gold, she sent a messenger to Europe to purchase books. And when they arrived, laden with books instead of gold, the queen's subjects were initially disappointed. But the queen, she was ecstatic. Every evening after dinner, she would light candles and sit by her window, reading and rereading the books, her eyes sparkling with delight. Some nights she couldn't sleep. So absorbed was she in tales of European history, culture, and geography. She learned about ancient Greece and Rome, about the great philosophers and scientists, about the wonders of the world. Her thirst for knowledge was endless. She was especially captivated by the stories of the Greek and Roman gods and goddesses, their adventures, their intrigues, and their battles. It was a far cry from the tribal myths she'd grown up with, but she found them fascinating. Once, while reading about the Roman god Mercury, she chuckled to herself. Here was a trickster god, just like Anansi, the spider from her own cultural tales. It was comforting to find similarities across these distant lands. The queen also delved into books on science, mathematics, and medicine. She learned about the human body, about the properties of elements, and about the laws of nature. It was a far cry from the traditional roles expected of a woman, let alone a queen. But the queen didn't care. Knowledge, she believed, was the true source of power, not gold or land or armies. Yet despite her joy, a part of her felt a deep sadness. As she turned the pages of these wonderful books, she realized that she could never have these experiences herself. She could never walk the streets of Athens or Rome, never meet a philosopher face to face, never witness the grandeur of the Colosseum. The books, she knew, could only offer her a vicarious thrill. Still, she clung to hope. Perhaps she thought she could commission someone to build her a library, a place where the books could be shared not just with her, but with her people. There, scholars and thinkers from around the world could gather, exchanging ideas and making new discoveries. It might not be the same as going to Athens or Rome, but it would bring a piece of those places to her kingdom. And so, when her people complained about the lack of gold in exchange for books, the queen stood firm. She saw the value in the books, the potential they held to elevate her kingdom, and she was willing to sacrifice some of her people's immediate comforts for that potential. To them, it might seem like a foolish trade, but to her, it was an investment in the future. Historians still argue whether or not Queen Idia of the Kingdom of Benin commissioned the construction of a grand library. But one thing is certain, her love for books and learning left an indelible mark on her people, inspiring generations to come. In the quiet of the night, beneath the soft glow of oil lamplight, the queen delved deeper into the tales of distant lands. One book spoke of a mighty empire in India, where rulers were revered as gods. Another detailed the sprawling cities of China, with their intricate canals and towering walls. And yet another unveiled the secrets of the Egyptian pyramids, those enduring monuments to forgotten pharaohs. As she turned each page, the queen felt a pang of longing, Oh, how she wished she could see these wonders for herself, walk the bustling streets of Indian cities, or marvel at the Great Wall of China. But her world, like the horizon, seemed limited. However, as dawn approached, bringing with it the promise of a new day, the queen's spirits lifted. She realized that though she might never set foot in these faraway lands, she could carry a piece of them within her own borders. With newfound determination, she began to plan. The queen envisioned a grand structure, a place where scholars from across the known world could gather, share their wisdom, and translate ancient texts, making knowledge accessible to all. It would be a beacon of learning, a testament to her insatiable curiosity. But how could she make this dream a reality? The answer, she knew, lay in the very books she held so dear. With trembling hands, she began to read, searching for a way to connect the dots, to bridge the vast distances that separated her from the wonders of the world. Thus, the queen embarked on a mission to acquire not just books, but also maps, artifacts, and anything that could bring the world closer to her people. Her collection grew, becoming a treasure trove of global wonders. And so in the heart of her kingdom, the queen hosted a grand festival, inviting scholars and travelers from near and far. Together, they explored the treasures from around the world, sharing stories and ideas that transcended borders and languages. And as the sun set over the horizon, casting long shadows across the kingdom, the queen knew that though she might never physically roam the world, she had brought the world to her. In that moment, surrounded by the fruits of her labor, the queen felt a deep sense of fulfillment. And as the stars twinkled above, she whispered, "Though I may never walk the streets of Athens or gaze upon the pyramids, the world is mine to explore."